Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I hope that you can hear me loud and clear. My name is Ivy Prosper, and typically I tell stories from Africa and the African diaspora. But today I decided to try something new. I am having a conversation that is not typical of my channel. I tell stories, as I said, from Africa and the African diaspora, usually with a focus on Ghana and on Africa and beyond. But this time, I'm actually really interested in knowing more about Black people living in other parts of the world. Because not everyone is choosing Africa, and we want to know why people aren't choosing Africa. There could be certain reasons why they're making decisions to go to other places. And so a friend of mine recently made the journey to Thailand, and he's been there for a few weeks now. And so, in watching some of his content, reading stories, I have become intrigued and wanted to know more about what's happening in Thailand. It's not a place that I ever really thought about traveling myself, although I absolutely love Thai food. It's one of my top when it comes to favorite foods. And I'm just seeing posts of the food, I'm seeing the experiences, and I'm just really finding it to be a place that I would love to know a little bit more about. And so, in me watching some of the content recently, the algorithm, of course, does not disappoint and is showing me information about Thailand. It's just showing me videos and clips. And then I saw that there was their New Year. I didn't realize that they had their own New Year because I know about China having the Chinese New Year, but I didn't realize that people in Thailand also had their own as well. And seeing some of the festivities happening, I just was like, wow, this is pretty cool. So let me see if I can connect with some people there and if they would be interested in coming and sharing some of their experiences of being in Thailand and share a little bit more. If maybe you would be interested in going to Thailand, get some information from them, connect with them, and then you can also make your own trip there. So today I have three guests. One of them hasn't been able to get online as of yet due to some internet challenges. So hopefully she will be able to get online. So I have DJ, who is from the Afro Caribbean in Chiang Mai. Did I say Chiang Mai right? Chiang Mai.
Perfectly.
And then I have T, who has her business traveling tea, who's been living in Chiang Mai for a number of years. So, oh, we have our other guest here. Let me just add her on. Okay, perfect. Zara from Black in Chiang Mai is here as well. Fantastic. Welcome everybody to today's live stream. Thank you for taking the time out of your day because I know it's a middle of the afternoon for you. Early morning for me, 9 o'clock, just starting my day. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having us. And I look forward to the conversation.
Fantastic. So let me start with you, DJ, with the Afro Caribbean in Chiang Mai group. And tell me, first of all, introduce yourself and let us know, when did you make the move to Thailand and where were you living before?
Okay, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. My name is Don Juan, but I just go by DJ. I have been living in Chiang Mai now for around 7 months. I moved here in August. And before Thailand, I lived in Cambodia for 1 year. And before Cambodia, I lived in Vietnam for 4 years. So I'm approaching 6 years now in Asia, and I'm loving every minute, every second of it, man.
Wow. Wow. I didn't expect you to say you were in Cambodia too. That's really interesting. And
Yes,
then
yes.
next, I'll talk to Zara, who has the Black in Chiang Mai group. Tell us where you were living before, when did you move to Thailand, and then we'll move on to T. Did you hear me, Zara? I think we might have a bit of a delay.
Yeah, there's a delay.
Okay.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Zara. I have been in Chiang Mai since September, but I was here in 2019 for most of the year, and I absolutely love it here.
Fantastic. And T, I think you've been living there the longest.
Yes, I've been in Thailand for a very long time. So my name is T. I have been living in Thailand since like 2018. Um, Pretty much, I came here for 2 weeks, stayed for 3 months, and then ended up just like moving here and properly living here. So that's kind of my experience. Love Thailand, and specifically, like Chiang Mai is a really lovely place. So it's been really good.
I would love to know what made you all choose Chiang Mai because a lot of times when I think of Thailand, I think of like Bangkok. What made you choose Chiang Mai?
Chiang Mai gave me the ease that I was looking for. It gives me a little bit of the city life that I want. It gives me the ease of Phuket without the actual beach town, but it gives me a little bit of city when I want it, and it has a nice homey feeling without, and I still have access to nature, so it gives me a little bit of it all.
Awesome.
For me personally, I would have lived in big cities while living in both Vietnam and Cambodia. So for me, Bangkok was not my first option for wanting to move to Thailand. So did a bit of research about Chiang Mai, and upon reaching here, man, there's a type of energy of peace that I cannot explain. It's a first time really experiencing this sort of energy within a community. So that was the motivating factor that brought me, but the peace and energy is what keeps me here and grounds me at this point.
Um, I be doing stuff because I be in love. So I ended up in Chiang Mai because I was like, when I came for 2 weeks, I was like, oh my God. For the first 3 days, I was in Bangkok and I cried for like 3 days straight. And then I came up to Chiang Mai, and on like the day I got here, I saw somebody and I was like, yo. And then on like the sixth day, I was in love. So then when I was planning to move here, like I've been planning to come here in like April of 2018. And then I was like, dang, well, now I'm in love. So then I stayed for 3 months. And then when I came, I left to the US for like 6 weeks. And then when I came back, I was like, I'm coming home to my baby. And my baby was in Chiang Mai. So then I was just in Chiang Mai. And
T.
I agree with everybody else. Like, it full on has a magic. There is a magic in Chiang Mai, and it's called, like, it's doted as charming Chiang Mai. So there definitely is a bit of charm that is here. But yeah, I just be in love. So the next thing you know, I'll be rewriting my life like everybody, right?
Ah.
T.
Thank you guys for sharing that. Normally, most of my audience is usually in the US and the US time zone right now. Most people are going to be sleeping, but they can all watch this afterwards. But the great thing about this is having people from other time zones. We have Nana Oben from New Zealand who's saying good evening from New Zealand. Thanks for joining us, Nana Oben. If you have any comments or questions, please put it in the comment section and they can respond to you. Um, so let me just let everybody see some of your pages to know exactly what you guys are doing because I think it's really great. Because one of the things I noticed is how the Black community, the African community, Caribbean communities, how no matter where you are in the world, people find a way to build community. So I found it interesting when I noticed on Instagram the Afro Caribbean group and the Black and Chiang Mai group, and just seeing that you're having like gatherings and dinners and that kind of stuff. So I want to know, what it is that made you decide that you wanted to, start these organizations. I'm just going to share on the screen so people see what I'm talking about with what I saw on the online. So there is the Black in Chiang Mai page here, and I think I was really intrigued when I saw Let me see, where is it? This here. I was like, these people are in Thailand, and it's like, it's looking like a carnival.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was like, I didn't even know that there was such a festival. I didn't know that there was such a festival.
Mm-hmm.
And the irony is, I didn't know there was a festival. And then my sister shared on her Instagram. My sister lives in Toronto, Canada. She shared on her Instagram that in Canada, somebody was doing a festival for Thailand's New Year. And I was like, what? I was like, this is so interesting. That is the case. So this is the page for those of you watching from the Black in Chiang Mai. And then I also saw some images on the the similar images on the Afro Caribbean page. Let me see if I can pull that one up. The Afro Caribbean page also was pretty cool. Seeing content. I'm hearing what's his name? Montano.
Marshall Montano,
Michelle
yeah.
Montano. Yes.
Yes.
So I think it's really great that you've built these communities. When did the two of you decide to start, you know, Afro Caribbean in Chiang Mai and Black in Chiang Mai?
Well, Black in Chiang Mai came before Afro Caribbean. So Z, you can go ahead. Yeah.
I know she has a delay, so we'll wait.
Okay.
I guess you face internet challenges there as well.
It's universal.
You said it's universal. Okay, I don't think she's hearing us
No,
right.
no, it's not like in Ghana. It's not like in Ghana. No, not the same.
You said it's not like in Ghana.
No.
Absolutely
Well, I guess
not. No, like
I guess I'll start.
it is completely different.
It's having a bit of an issue. So Afro Caribbean Chiang Mai. To be very honest, this charge has been leading itself without actually being planned. So I guess I'll have to start from when I first moved over to Thailand. You know, every time I go to a new country, I'm always trying to find like the music, you know, especially for the entertainment. Where is the music that resonates with African or Caribbean culture? And at least in Chiang Mai, it was not existent at that point in time. So I'm also a DJ. So I would have approached a particular club, and in October last year, we started running a regular weekly series called Afro Vibes, where we'd basically play like African Caribbean music and just try to get people involved, those who already know the music or those who are not too sure about it but are interested. We started that platform there. From that, it just continued to grow and grow on its own. And Afro Caribbean came about because our long term plan for November is to actually throw Chiang Mai's first Afro Caribbean festival. So it's going to be a 2-day, 3-day festival event, which is showcasing the music, arts, lifestyle, entertainment, everything along that line. So with this happening, this is where Songkran's event would have started. So we knew the Songkran festival was coming up, and we used it as an opportunity to showcase not only African Caribbean culture, but to also integrate with all the locals. Because contrary to the name itself, Afro Caribbean does not just represent African or Black people. It is not just for African or Black people, I should say. You know, we started this to include everyone within the community that we normally find it difficult to find anywhere, especially when it comes to the music, the arts, the festivals. So Afro Caribbean Chiang Mai was created to include diversity, to be a part of diversity for not just the Thai locals, but for any other person who does not come from our background. But, you know, we noticed that especially now how popular the music is, everyone is getting involved in it. So that's why I say Afro Caribbean Chiang Mai has been actually leading us more than we have been leading Afro Caribbean Chiang Mai. So that is just a quick rundown as to how we got started, why we got started, and this was our first official 2-day event, which was our Afro Splash. So we had a pool party on the Friday before the Songkran event. And then we used the Songkran Festival as an opportunity to showcase a carnival style type of parade. So long term, our goal is to hopefully, fingers crossed, host the first carnival in Thailand next year. So we are just attacking the industry from all sides, the African side, the Caribbean side, and just blending them together, including everyone and welcoming everyone.
That's pretty cool. That would be pretty cool to have a carnival. Zara, you're back. I know you're having some network challenges. Can you hear me? I think she still has a bit of a delay.
My Wi-Fi is garbage.
I'm so sorry.
My Wi-Fi is garbage. Sorry, guys.
Please share with us how you started Black in Chiang Mai and some of the things you do. Oh, she's not hearing us. So let me go to in the comments. Nana Oben says, I tuned in because I was curious about Black people enjoying life in Thailand. I lived in SEA in the 90s and really enjoyed Malaysia in 95, 96. There was a large group of Nigerians and others. And then she says, nice to hear of the Caribbean culture there. That's pretty, this that she's saying is also why I wanted to do this live stream, because I also was curious about Black people having an enjoyable life in Thailand and what it's like and what made you decide to stay. So let me go to T. If you can talk a little bit about what you do, because you travel. It's not just Thailand. You've been doing traveling even before you moved to Thailand, and it's become a business for you. And so I would love to hear more about what you do in Thailand, how you're making money, because yes, we move to places and have a great time, but we also have to sustain ourselves in some way. So you've managed to do that through your business. So I would love to hear more about what you do.
So thanks for asking. Lots of people think I just kind of like hang out. People like just genuinely think I just hang out and fly around the world, which is fine. I don't mind. I'm like, that's okay if that's what you believe. Because I know it definitely looks that way. And it's not like they're wrong. They're definitely not wrong. Like I do just hang out and fly around the world and have fun most of the time. But I am actually a global social media strategist. So I run social media strategies and campaigns for various clients. I've got one client who brought me to Ghana last December. So I spent Daddy December in Ghana. I liked it so much that I ended up just staying through to like February because I was having so much fun. And so I run the social media strategy for them. And that is a travel company called Travel Deeper Inc. So I work with them. They bring people to West Africa. So they take me on trips essentially to collect content and to do content creation. So while I was there for December and January, I went to Togo, I went to Cote d'Ivoire, I obviously did Ghana, I went to Egypt because then my mom came to meet me because she was like, what should we do? So I said, okay. And actually this year I have to go back to Ghana. So I'll be back in Ghana in July, and then I'll spend Q4 in Ghana around West Africa doing different content and stuff from them, start going from like November, December, January. So really I work in social media, and I have clients in the United States as well. I've been a social media manager for a nonprofit organization here in Thailand called Beam Education Foundation. I'm like the operations manager and social media strategist for a nonprofit based in Philly that supports Black girls in becoming activists, advocates, and organizers. I work with lifestyle brands. So I also have like one client who she is a hairstylist, and I run all of the social media on her page. And so as that started, I just kind of gotten more clients via word of mouth. And it's because people saw my actual stuff and they thought that I was like, it's funny because I'll be like, I'm not an influencer. I'm just a girl who travels around the world and like posts about it. But then other people kind of turned me into a proper social media strategist because they were like, hey, you're doing that there. Can you bring that to my platform? And lucky enough, I'm good at that. So I do. I take it over to their platform and then I build out brands essentially. So yeah.
That's fantastic. I love that you shared that, because I think a lot of times when people see people on social media who may be traveling, they assume that you're not working, you're just chilling, just going to parties.
Yeah.
They don't realize that there's actual strategy and work behind what you're doing. Yeah. I also do social media. Besides doing YouTube, I do social media. A lot of people don't know that I've been managing social media with Ghana Tourism since 2019. I've been responsible for promoting their Year of Return and their Beyond the Return campaign since 2019. So it is tireless work doing social media. People think it's easy, but they don't realize how much goes into it. I had someone once said, what does Ivy do except for post pictures on Instagram? And you're like, do you know how much goes into doing this stuff? Like,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely it's really funny because I don't necessarily think that I work hard because I just am like, I don't know. I'm just like chronically online. But I have friends who will be like, if I had to be chronically online, I could not do it. But I think it's because it just might be like being like that millennial Gen Z vibe where I'm just like, I don't know. I had a MySpace when I was like 9 or 10, definitely, or like probably 11 in 6th grade. I had a MySpace. So it didn't make any difference. It was like, I've just kind of been on the internet all this time. Hopefully I've developed the skill from being on the internet, right? So, and I also agree, like people often will just be like, you're rich, or they think that I'm 28 years old. People genuinely believe like my parents pay for my life and things like that. And I'm like, no, I have jobs. I have to pay for things. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I find it interesting that people would think a 28-year-old, their parents are paying for their life. It's so funny because I'm like, my parents weren't paying for my life at 28. It's not something you expect. Yeah, it's interesting, but people are people. So Zara,
Right.
I hope you're able to chime in. Actually, T, I'm not going to let you go just yet because there's something else that you do. I'm just going to show your page besides social media for if somebody's looking to travel.
Yeah, I forget.
You also have travel services that you offer too for people who may be interested in getting that information.
Oh yeah, thanks for plugging that. I forget. I tell people all the time, like, it looks like I just have fun, but from my inception of life, I come from two hustlers. Like, I'm from Philly. My parents is hustlers. Like, I don't think my mom has ever only had one job in my whole life. And my mom works for like the University of Pennsylvania. And she full on has multiple jobs. So I do have other jobs, and I do travel consulting to assist people in not only planning their trips and travels around Southeast Asia, Western Europe, and West Africa, but I also provide consultations to assist people in basically being able to break out of the chains of the 9-to-5 mindset, because there are ways for you to make money that don't necessarily coincide with like this societal belief that we have to only do it one way. There are loads of ways to make money. So
Definitely
yeah,
loads of ways.
I do that kind of stuff.
Definitely loads of ways to make money. So everybody watching, you can see her page here that I'm just scrolling through. If you would like to book her for services to help you with when you want to make a trip, plan a trip on, the locations that are in her page. Let me just put that on the screen where people can find you. That's her website. Anybody watching, that's her website that you can go to if you want to get some information on how you can also be traveling the world. And who knows, maybe she can consult on how you can become a social media manager too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did recognize that I only spoke about the social media one, but it's really important for me that people know that I don't make money off of my social media. Like, there is no money coming in from me posting out on Instagram and TikTok. That's $0. The only thing that pays my bills is me being a social media strategist and running other people's Instagrams and TikToks and Facebooks. So like, I think there's just a misconception there for a lot of people. They think if you have followers, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's important for you to like have a proper job with a check coming in, and that you're capable of finding that type of thing to do.
And then I think what's important for people to know is that your social media can help you get the other jobs, because when you are doing things like what you said, you're consulting for companies doing their social media, when they saw what you're posting, they thought, oh, you know what? She has the capacity to do something for us too, based on what she's doing with her. So it's like having a call to action that people can respond to when they see what you're doing on your own personal pages. So yeah, thank you for pointing
Ivy,
that out.
I'm not sure, like, I don't know how like you gained your following over what time, but like people came to me when I only had like 1,500 followers. I didn't have as many followers as I have now when I got any of the social media clients that I have. Like, they saw something in me, and people will see something in you if you produce good content, if you produce good, authentic content. Doesn't really matter how many followers you have. That is a really strong like Gen Z misconception that followers translate to something, but that's not necessarily true.
And it's not just a Gen Z misconception, it's just a human misconception. There's an assumption that you have to have, 100K, 10K, 15K, whatever it is. But there are people who legitimately are on social media platforms and have like 2,000 followers, 1,000 followers, and they're making, six-figure incomes because people are just attracted to the quality of their content, and then they reach out, and then they're able to deliver for people in other ways. So it's not always that you have to have a big following to be able to make the money. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up. And so back to the question here. Nana Oben says, personally, would either of you recommend a good month or season to visit Chiang Mai? Any of you who are there, share with us.
I'll personally say the best 2 times, just from my short time here.
September,
end of
October.
year. Yeah, and then following into the Songkran festival, which happens in April. So those are the 2 biggest festivals. They have the Yiping Festival, which is a lantern festival, which they do in November, and then the Water Festival, which they do in April. So it's Thailand's 2 biggest festivals. So it's the 2 best times to be here.
Okay. And then T, I see that T had said November through January was also good.
Yeah, they're absolutely right. It's like, because depending on, like, we have rainy season here. Rainy season typically starts June to September, October. So the best times to come are technically the winter season, which is that like October, November to January. Like they've said, there's the Loy Krathong Yiping Festival. And then coming in between like April to June is also a very good time, because it's right before the rainy season. So the temperature just cools down and stuff will be cheaper. If you come during November to January, stuff is more expensive. If you come between that like April to June, you get really good cheap prices. I've stayed in like 5-star hotels for like $50 a night during that time period, like in May. It's amazing.
Wow. 5-star for $50.
Yeah, I agree.
That's amazing.
November to January, the weather is great. The weather is perfect. The only thing about April for Songkran is you have to deal with burning season, which is where the air is not as clear, and so that's not as comfortable. But that November, January, and that May to what T was saying, that little time period, perfect.
So Zara, now that your network is a little bit more stable, please talk about Black in Chiang Mai. Oh, I hope we're not losing her again. Oh, I think Zara's not hearing me. Okay, so let me talk about this festival. I want you guys to share about the Songkran. Did I say it right? Songkran Festival.
Yeah.
So what is the festival all about? Why is it that people are
So Black in
throwing?
Chiang Mai. Well, first
Oh, she's in.
we're already Black.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, we lost her again. Oh,
Uh,
that I mean, her experience she's having with the internet right now, that's not typical, is it? It's just by chance it's been like that for her, unfortunately. That's something that usually happens in
possibly.
Ghana.
Yeah. From what
Yeah,
according
that
to
is definitely not. Oh, I don't know what anybody is talking about. Like, unless you've been to West Africa, you know what's going on over there with internet. Like, you, this is crazy. Like Ivy, you know what I'm talking about. Ghana didn't
I
have.
used
I couldn't talk to my one boss for like 5 days because there's no connection.
you know, the internet in Ghana can be really bad in some places. And so I used to have a lot of trouble and I stopped doing live streams because I used to love doing live stream conversations all the time so I can interact with my audience. And then I just like stopped for the longest time because I was just frustrated with the way that the internet would always be going out. I would have, I had Glow, which was a Nigerian company that was in Ghana, and I had Vodafone and I had MTN and I had all three of them. So I would be like switching between them. When one goes out, then I have to switch to the other one so that I can stay on my live stream. And then in my comment section, people would be like, Ivy, you're blurry. Why are you so blurry? And I'm just like, it's like, why am I blurry? Because my internet sucked. So I ended up finally getting fiber Wi-Fi in my neighborhood because it wasn't in my neighborhood. It literally was like 2 streets away. They had fiber. My street, there was no fiber. And I kept asking MTN and Vodafone, the companies that were here, when are you guys bringing it to my neighborhood? Finally, it was like years later, and now it's far better. Still have some challenges here and there, but now it's far, far better than it was before. And yeah, so it is a challenge in Ghana. She's right. So, and I used to have a client. I used to work with a film production company where most of our clients were in the U.S. and they wouldn't understand when we'd be like, we haven't been able to upload all of the videos we're supposed to send to you because the internet sucks. So yeah, yeah. So Zara, I hope you're able to get back on and hear us.
I hear you.
Perfect. So share with us, now that you hear me, Black in Chiang Mai. Tell us about that.
So there are groups here, already Black groups here in Chiang Mai, and I came and I was ready to see a little bit more action, and so Black in Chiang Mai came as an accident. One day there was 12 of us at a party, and funny thing, DJ was there. That was the first night I met him, and there was 12 of us there. And so I created a WhatsApp group called Black in Chiang Mai, and then it just grew from there and turned into something way bigger. It just turned into something bigger and better, and I'm just grateful for it to be what it is. Hosting events and being and connecting people in community is something that's very important for me. I come from a big family, so I'm used to being around tons and tons of people. So Black in Chiang Mai really is a something from my heart. It feels really good to be a part of this and to be surrounded by people who are just as dedicated to community as I am.
And what kind of events do you have?
So Sunday dinner, which is something that was already a Chiang Mai tradition. I won't claim it because it wasn't mine. I just picked it up and just kept it rolling. Sunday dinner was something that happened on a weekly basis. Every Sunday, all the Black people in the community would get together and we would meet at a certain restaurant. And ever since then, we turned it from what was once monthly into something right back to what it was originally from the tradition from the beginning, back into something that happens weekly where we get together and meet for dinner. It's a good time. It gets all of us together to eat and chat and just be in community, and it feels really good.
And what kind of work are you doing, Zara?
I'm a hypnotherapist. I help people make powerful lifestyle changes.
Oh, and so most of your clientele, so most of your clientele is in Thailand or like online, virtual? Like, I want to hear about this.
Yeah, most of my work is virtual. I handle most of my calls via Zoom. I help people quit smoking. I help people with food aversion. I help people gain weight, lose weight, whatever their interests are. Anything that you're looking to change about your life, I can help you make the change. I help people quit smoking. Yeah, I help people make powerful lifestyle changes.
Wow. And so how can people reach you? Should they reach you through the Black in Chiang Mai, or you have another page that they can reach you on about
Yeah,
this?
So I have my own personal page. It's Zara Charm, Zarah Charm, CHARM. That's my Instagram. It's the same on all platforms. And then zaracharm.com is my website where anyone can find me and reach me.
Let me put that on the screen now. Zara Charm. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
And
thank you.
zaracharm.com, you said?
Yes.
Let me add that so people can see.
Absolutely.
Changing people's lives.
Share. Yeah, absolutely.
That is
also
so important.
I recently did a black hair exhibition here. It was the first one in Thailand, so I'm very excited. My background before I got into hypnotherapy, I was a hairstylist for 12 plus years. And I just wanted to see some blackness and some black hair, and I decided to create the space for that to happen. And so last week during Songkran, I hosted the first black hair exhibition here in Chiang Mai. And DJ and T were there, and we had a good time. So
Yeah, it was amazing actually. I didn't even know those things happened. So again, congratulations, Z. That was well done.
I know. It was phenomenal. Ugh, love ya. So good.
Yeah.
So now that you've said this is one of the things. So I grew up in Canada, and during the time I grew up, I'm older than all of you guys. I'm not millennial. I'm not Gen Z. I am Generation X. So during my time, like where I grew up is a small city called St. Catharines beside Niagara Falls. During that time, there wasn't as much diversity in that area. There were Black people. They were on the other side of town, and most of them were descendants of the transatlantic slave trade. Harriet Tubman lived in the city I grew up in when she came through the Underground Railroad. So there is a Black community on one side of town. We lived on the side of town that was mostly white people. And so we didn't have anywhere to go get our hair done. We would drive across the border to the US. It's a 15-minute drive, go to the States to get our hair done. So I'm curious because whenever you go to places that it's not a huge Black population, doing your hair is often a thing of where do I go? How do I find someone? Are there Black salons there? Or are there people who know how to do Black hair?
Zara.
There are no Black salons here, specifically in Chiang Mai. You can get your hair done by the Thai people. They know how to braid, but it's not necessarily the same quality as when we get our hair braided by Black braiders or African braiders. You can go to Phuket or Chiang Mai. You can go to Phuket and Bangkok to possibly get your hair done, but again, it's not a quality service. Well, let me not say that because I don't know about the salons in Bangkok, so I'm not going to say that. But in Chiang Mai, we don't have it in this moment. There may be a change in that, but I'm not sure. We'll see. There may be a change in that soon. So we'll see.
Okay. Did you get a lot of people at your hair event?
Yes, we had a good little turnout. We had like 25, 30 of us there. That's a good turnout for Chiang Mai.
During Songkran especially.
DJ, I'm wondering about you because I know like Black men love their barbers. They love their own hairstylists, whether they're dread or cornrows or, keeping the lineup, all that stuff. Like, what is it like for the men?
Personally, when it comes to the dreadlocks in Chiang Mai, Zara is the one who takes care of me in Chiang Mai. As opposed to the barbers, it's been a very technical situation. So at this point, I literally only just like do my sideburns and my beard. So takes a lot of trust, especially as it's Thai barbers doing your hair. So it was a process, but at this point, I found my guy who I just tell him, do exactly what you did the last time. Don't do anything else. Just do exactly what you're accustomed doing. And sometimes he gets it a little bit wrong, but it's nothing as drastic at this point. So there are not any African barbers, at least to my knowledge, unless they do it indoor or in their home. So we just have to take a leap of faith at this point.
A leap of faith. Whew. It's like the trial and error vibes, but you're making
Oh,
it work.
yes.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So I want to backtrack because I was starting to talk about the festival, and then we got Zara online, and we can hear her clearly now, so she was able to share some stuff. I want to go back and talk about the Songkran festival, but first, before we do that, I just wanted to get that off my head because sometimes I forget things, so I wanted to say that first. So I want to get back to the festival, but first, before we do that, DJ, I want to know what you do to make a living in Thailand.
Okay, so primarily my main job is I'm a teacher at an international school. So I've been teaching in Asia for almost 6 years now. So that's what inspires the moves across the different countries. And about a year and a half ago, I started DJing out of necessity because the music that was playing here was not the music that I know I'm accustomed to. So during the end of COVID, I literally just bought a DJ deck, started downloading music, and basically taught myself how to DJ. So that also brings in income at the side as opposed to my regular teaching gig.
Okay. So with DJing, what kind of music do the people there love? Do they pop? Is it hip hop? Or
So,
like what do they have their own music genre there?
so from my experience in Thailand, they love their Thai music, but most of the foreigners or Westerners here, they call them Farangs. They would mostly like the techno and the house and just a lot of music I never grew up listening to at all. So I call it the oots oots music because that's all you hear.
Oots,
Oots oots
oots,
oots
oots.
oots 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 oots. Oots. It's literally that. Yeah, it's that heavy BPM tempo music that has no
Yeah.
rhythm at all, just energy. So for me, I strongly dislike that style of music. So I literally had to take action, and that's how Afro Vibes in October started because I was sick of it. I said, no, let's get some more options available to the people here. And yeah, we did it.
The irony is that techno music was actually created by Black people.
Black people. Yeah, I
Yes.
found out that way later, but it still didn't resonate with me because I mean, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
I can tell
So
you're from Trinidad. You have the sing song
yeah,
voice.
yeah. Well, hey, you actually know, man, because yeah. So in my country, that is so foreign.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
it's so foreign, so it's not something I grew up around. And to be very honest, I haven't given it like a fair chance because something in my brain just shuts off when that comes on. So I just had to take some action,
Oh,
and yeah, we've been doing a good job so far, I would say.
yeah. I mean, it's not you don't have to force yourself to you don't have to force yourself to love it, just because everybody else
But I like
does.
to be open,
I just
I
wanted to bring
like
that up.
to,
A lot of people
yeah,
don't know that it was created by a Black person
yeah.
in Detroit.
And even the house music as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, um, you have a comment here. Good job, DJ. And then
Thank
with the teaching, something that someone, I think Andrea here is saying is the TTT for the Trinidad and Tobago. I want to know, are the T's for Trinidad and Tobago, or is it for traveling?
It definitely is. It's the Trinidad flag on yeah, it's the Trinidad flag emoji.
Oh, it's not even showing up on my side. On my side, it's just showing as a T. Is the emoji
Yeah,
showing
on
for
my phone
you?
I can see it.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay,
on my
perfect.
phone. Yeah, I can see
I'm on my desktop
it.
and it's not showing the flag. So
Yeah. Okay.
so yeah, I want to know about the teaching now. So we covered the DJ and the teaching now. how did you get to start teaching? Did you have to do any certification? Because I know of a lot of people who want to go to Asia and be teachers so they can live abroad while teaching. Was there a certain certification you had to go through?
Well, my main certification literally is one that everyone needs in Asia to teach, and it's called a TEFL, teaching English as a foreign language. However, that is very debatable depending on the school that you go to. So there are normally a lot of requirements, which would normally include having a TEFL certificate, having a degree, and most times experience can also add to that. But in many countries, specifically Cambodia, none of those things are needed in specific parts that you go to. So it really depends on which country you are. All the rules are different. I would say out of all the three countries that I've lived in, Vietnam is the most difficult when it comes to securing a work permit through teaching because they require all your documents to be authenticated by not only your government, but by their government. So if you do not have an embassy in Vietnam representing your country, then it's going to be very, very difficult. I would have faced those issues when it came to getting a work permit in Vietnam because there were no Trinidad and Tobago embassies in Vietnam. So my solution to getting that done was I had to go to my nearest embassy, which is in China. So I had to send my documents over to China for them to certify it and get it authenticated, and then you can get that process started. For Thailand, so far my degree and TEFL certificate has been sufficient, in addition to my experience to teach at an international school here.
Okay. What has been the experience like as a Black person in an Asian country? Because there are some things that I've read about feeling racism, feeling discrimination from being a Black person. And then I even had read a story about someone who wanted to teach, and they said that the teacher would scare children, so they didn't want to choose to hire a Black person. So I'm just curious to know what any of your experiences have been, if racism is something that people should think about when they do make a decision to move to Thailand. If it's something that is a high level, is it mid, or is it like really not a huge part of your life? Anyone can speak.
For me specifically in Thailand, it has been the country with the least amount of racism, in my opinion. And I am not sure why, but if I can just look around and see what's going on, Thailand is a very big pool of many different cultures, because Thailand is one of the main hubs in Asia that everyone flock to. So there are every creed and race you can find here, from the different types of Thais. They have a variety of Thais as well. But in terms of the Farang community, that's what they call the foreigners, there's a very, very diverse community here. In the teaching world, in Thailand, I haven't faced any racism, and the Thai people are so friendly, man. So they actually get intrigued by me, or I can't speak for all the other Black people, but they are very intrigued from my presence. And, some of them are able to speak English, so that makes communication a little bit easier. But for those who do not know, a smile is all it takes, I would say, in Thailand. Unless you're really acting a fool or showing up yourself or just being straight up disrespectful or embarging on their culture negatively, it's all love, especially in Chiang Mai, for me.
I agree. The people who I know who experience racism here, it has come from other foreigners from other countries, and that's their only experience. I haven't had any experience with racism at all in general, and definitely didn't have any issues with Thai people. So I feel very comfortable here. I feel very safe here. I feel welcome here more than anywhere, a lot of other places I've lived before. So.
Yeah, I think if I'm being honest, I echo the same sentiments. What DJ said, which is really important to remember, that like Thailand is basically like, if you're going to Asia for the first time, Thailand is your intro to Asia country. Similar to like if you go to West Africa, Ghana is your intro to West Africa country, I would say. Like it's easy to go there and just try it out and see. So in Thailand, like DJ said, they're just used to seeing foreigners. And I think what's important is DJ is using a Thai word to say foreigner, which is the word phalang. Like, we might be black, but we're all just phalang to them. Like, it's not like we're white phalang or like a British, but like we're all just phalang. Like, it's like all of you are just foreigners. You're all just different than us. You're all just not Thai. Definitely with the teaching things and stuff, I remember I went to like one of my first teaching jobs, and I remember being like, is it okay if I wear my Afro? And the supervisor was actually like this white American guy, and he was like, yes, absolutely. We encourage you to be who you are. I was like, thanks, Derek. He was so lovely. So I've definitely not experienced. And as DJ said, Thai people come in all different shades. We're up in the north in Chiang Mai, so they're very fair skinned. But if you down south, they're browner than brown people that I know. Like, they're very brown, and it all kind of correlates. Also, just remembering that the dichotomy of race is different when you're out of different places, right? Like, the dichotomy of race is just very different because it's a homogenous country. So their focus very much is just that, like, you're just not Thai. And we're like, we are not, sorry. So they treat everybody who's not Thai kind of similarly. I would say, DJ, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree with T's sentiment, man. I think, one thing I really love about the Thai culture is they're very prideful of their country. And I'm not sure if it's because they are one of the only countries in Southeast Asia that was not colonized by any outside forces. So for them, that pride resonates within them. So I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever translated their national anthem, but it basically translates to "We are ready to fight" or "We are ready to kill for our country." So it's very direct and it's very straight to the point. Again, once you express love and you do not show any sign of disrespect, in my humble opinion, I think you're going to be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I just saw a girl on Instagram. There's this video. I've been to other Asian countries, obviously. DJ has lived in other Asian countries. Like, I've been to a lot of them. And the videos that you might see of like different types of people from different types of countries, like grabbing on people or taking photos and doing stuff like that, that I want to say has like never happened to me in Thailand. Like, a Thai person is not doing that. That is not happening.
100% agree. And especially coming from Cambodia and Thailand and Vietnam, especially with me looking very different, like many people want to touch my hair. It got to the point where people would randomly just touch you or come and pull their phone out and try to take photos of you. So, I turned it into a comical joke. If any of them ask me, can I touch your hair or can I take a picture? I'd say, yes, that's 20 dong. I'd start charging them. I said, if you want it that bad, pay a little bit of money and you can get a touch. So it's about finding the humor in things you're not really accustomed to as well, instead of just getting upset or being annoyed. There's always a way you can just have a laugh off of it, or actually just straight up be like, no thank you, and no thanks.
That's funny. So Nana Albin says that she remembers a magazine called Farang in Thailand in the early 2000s. Is there still something like that around that you've seen while you all have been there?
Not to my knowledge, I don't know.
No, but if it does exist, I'm sure it's fun. I've never heard of it, but it was probably just, we do have like Chiang Mai news in English, which to me could be a subsidiary of that, which is just like making sure that foreigners get news, right? That could be a subsidiary of that.
Could be. You guys have really shared some really interesting insights. So I really appreciate the time you guys have spent today to talk to me and kind of feed my curiosity about Thailand, because as I said, it's not a place that I thought about going. But when my friend left, my friend is Kwame, who's been spending time with T, right? He has been sharing stuff in his Instagram, and I'm just like, oh wow. The food, especially because I love Thai food, and I'm like, I can only imagine how good it is right in the country where it comes from, like the flavors. And so now I'm like, I've been trying to eat better, first of all, So I'm so grateful that this new market just opened up by my house, and I'm like going and buying fruits and vegetables, and I'm sitting here. Here's me trying to like, oh, let me try to cut this mango to make it look pretty, like how it looked on the plate that he shared in his Instagram stories. So so yeah, the food is like, I feel like there could be a food tour in Thailand. Just go there just for the food. Did you
I'm
have
here.
to make any? Did you have to make any adjustments when you went, or you already kind of were familiar with Thai food, so it was no big deal? Because I know food is something that people have a hard time adjusting to when they move to different countries.
I'm here for the food. I'm here for the food. I'm here for the food. It's not just Thai food. Thai food is absolutely delicious, but all the food here is good. So even if you're like, okay, I don't feel like eating Thai today, the Western food is good. The Indian food is good. The Mediterranean, like everything you eat here is good. So you can't go wrong. I'm here for the food.
I think in terms of adjustments, in Thailand, they fall a bit similar on the equator to my country. So they have a lot of the same types of foods and like seasonings, vegetables, and things like that. So for me, it was not much of a big change. It was just some new additional foods that were different from the cultural foods in Cambodia and Vietnam. I would say I have not really experienced it that much, but I think it's something that, for me, I call myself having strong guts now because I say I've been eating so many different types of weird foods in Vietnam and Cambodia that I feel like I can stomach anything at this point. So unless it gets me to that point, I will literally eat anything. So I am a foodie myself, and I really love Thai food. And one of the other things to mention is how cheap it is to eat Thai food here. Like, it is very, very cheap. If you go in straight Thai, you can live a full month on a very, very low budget when it comes to the food here.
Mhm. And what about like spirituality, religion? Like what is dominant in the country?
Buddhism. So Buddhism is the main language. I have not gone too deep into it, but Thailand, there's a temple on every street in Thailand. You can find a temple anywhere in Chiang Mai and in Bangkok. So they are very, very religious people. It's not something that they go out and they promote.
Mhm.
I think it's something they keep within themselves, and they just practice it. But it's not something that you feel is forced upon you or you must follow by this. You just respect their culture, and everyone just goes on in peace, in my opinion.
Okay, okay. And then what advice would you give somebody who's thinking about coming there?
Well, if I'm speaking directly to my Caribbean people, I would say just take a leap, man. Just go brave, because for me, my experience from finding out about coming to Asia, it was a 6 month, literal 6 month journey of just saying, okay, a Google search that turned into a one-way ticket and just flying over here. It takes a bit of bravery to leave everything after 25 years and move to another side of the world. So if you're feeling stuck in whether it's a job, or you feel like you're stuck in a part of your life, or you're not feeling like you're getting to work and travel, or you're not getting to just accomplish anything that you really want, you just have to take a jump. That's all I would tell anyone. That's how Afro Caribbean started. I'm sure, I don't know about T's story, but I'm sure T just would have taken a jump, and Z would have just taken a jump just to do something, man. So fear is the only thing that will keep you back. So if you could maintain your fear or deal with your fear, I would say just go, just do it.
Great advice.
I would say it's easier than you think. Like, I think that is what can really get people. They think that it's difficult, and they think that it's hard, and they think that it's scary. And albeit it can feel scary, and it does take a bit of bravery, and it takes a bit of courage. But if you're a part of the African diaspora, waking up and living every day in the United States is an act of resistance, right? Like if you're from Canada, like waking up going to work, having a family, all of those things are an act of resistance. And always remembering that, like, your existence gets to be like a white person's. Your existence gets to be like, actually, I'm just dipping off for a little bit to do something different. Your existence gets to be that. So I think, like, just remembering that just because you've never really seen anybody do it doesn't mean that people aren't doing it. And there's resources to get there.
I just realized I was on mute. I was
Yeah, I
saying,
was mentioning that.
yeah, I was saying definitely fear is something that holds a lot of people back. And then T made some points about your existence. You know, I think that we forget how it can be traumatizing, it can be emotionally draining, you know, in certain environments that you're in. And so it's a when you take the leap of faith, sometimes people realize that it's like their spirit opens up and it's like a whole new world of possibility. And it's like, wow, why didn't I do this before? So yeah, it's breaking through that fear. It really is breaking through that fear.
And in addition,
Zara?
I just want to add one. Oh, go ahead, Zara.
Go ahead. In addition, go ahead.
A lot of people tend to make like money an issue as well. You know, Southeast Asia is one of like the cheapest places to move around once you get there. So it might just take you a couple months of saving. You know, especially from my side of the world. You know, I'm on the Western Hemisphere down to the south. So it can take around like $1,000 one way if you're coming out here. But once you get in and you're inside, you know, it's very navigational. You can move around, you can visit many countries, you can get a whole lot of different experiences. So even if it's not just the mental fear, a lot of people have monetary fear as well. So I just want people to cancel that thought.
Speaking of monetary fear, I saw something that I'm going to say because it may put something in perspective for some, especially for young people. It was something on Instagram I saw that was geared towards people in their 20s and early 30s, and basically was saying, if you are getting lit every weekend, this is what it costs you to get lit. And it showed the cost of your transportation to go somewhere, your parking that you paid when you got there, the entrance to get into the venue, the amount you may spend on alcohol and food. And you're doing that every week, Friday and Saturday, and maybe Sunday, you're doing Sunday booking. And then they calculated how much money the person spends. And then they said, calculate that by 52 weeks. And that's how much you spent getting lit. You could have used that money for something else that would have been beneficial, moving you in a life goal or life dream or career, you know, ambition. And I was like, wow, you know what? This is like some perspective for some people. Of course, there are people in the comments saying, well, that's not how much I spent. It's like, well, you missed the point. It was about redirecting. Yeah. I thought about that because you mentioned saving up to get the ticket to go. Yeah. That sometimes it's not as hard as people think it may be. They just have to sacrifice certain things in order to be able to do it. Yeah.
Prioritize what you want for your life. You know?
Yeah.
I also think that there is.
Go ahead.
There's chance for you can do it long term, but you can also do it short term, right? So you don't necessarily have to be gone for a year or 2 years. You can leave for a few months, you can leave for a few weeks, and that might just be enough. You might come here and be like, Chiang Mai is not even for me, you know? Like, I mean, I'm telling you it probably is, but if it's not for you can have that little test run to see, like, okay, I experienced it, I had a great time, and I'm gonna come back next year. A lot of people, they come at the end of the year, they try it out. And there's a lot of people coming back next year who are like, I'm trying to stay next time because I gave Chiang Mai a test run. So.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you said that it might not be for them because I saw, I went through your social media pages and I saw a video on one of T's pages where she was like, and I can't remember what the places were. She was like, I think top 3 places that everybody said you should go, and you went and you were like, nah, it ain't for me. Sometimes you got to go, and then you realize it's not for me. Something else is for me, but that one's not for me. But you have to go in order to figure that out. So, and I mean, I encourage people to come to Ghana, but I also say that Ghana's not for everyone. For some people, it's to come, visit, have a great time, and leave. And for some people, it's for them to stay and create a life, to build something. So it's, everything has its purpose for every person. So yeah. Nana Oben, thank you so
Ivy,
much
can I ask you one question?
Yes.
I asked Kwame the same question last week. Jollof rice, Nigeria or Ghana?
Ivy has left the chat when it comes to Jollof wars because Ivy says Jollof is overrated. Wache is where it's at.
I'm a Banku girl. Like, where is the Banku? Where's Banku?
So I always say to them, I've left the chat because Jollof is overrated. Give me wache any day. And for those who don't know what wache is, it's a rice and beans dish, and they cook it in sorghum leaves. So sorghum leaves are plants that grows in Ghana, and when they soak it in the sorghum leaves, it gives it the brown look. And it's served with and it looks like Jamaican rice and peas, but it's darker.
Okay.
Yeah, I prefer that over Jollof any day. So when people bring up Jollof, where I'm like, Ivy left the chat. Ivy left the chat.
Humble apologies, Ivy.
What did Kwame say? Which one did he choose?
Well, Kwame,
he chose Senegalese rice.
Senegalese rice.
You know what?
Yes.
They're the originators. They are the originators.
Because Senegalese rice tops everybody. Senegal doesn't even have to be in the chat. Because when you're the top, you don't got to say it.
It's funny because I saw something, and the people from Senegal were like, why are these people fighting over something they didn't even create? Let's just leave them over there to fight amongst themselves. And in Canada, in Toronto some years ago, there was a Jollof Wars event, and they had people blindfolded and tasting Jollof from the different countries. So they were blindfolded and had to taste, and Senegal won.
Okay.
When they didn't know what they were eating, Senegal won.
Didn't even know. Ivy, we'll have to have wache when I come back to Ghana when I'm in July. You'll have to take me to your favorite wache place.
Definitely. We'll do that. Oh, so we've been on for like over an hour. I don't want to take more of your time, and I also have to get my work day started. This has been a really, really insightful conversation. I appreciate all of you who've been on. I know that we didn't have a lot of people on the live stream because normally I do my live streams in the evening Ghana time, because then I have people in multiple time zones that join. But I was also wanted to be courteous of your time zone and where you're at. It's a Friday. You may have things you're doing Friday night, but the recording will be up and people can watch it later and enjoy all of the information and the stuff that we've talked about. I can also send you all a recording, a copy of this, so that you can have it for yourselves as well. This has been really great, and I actually feel like not this year, but maybe next year, make a trip to Thailand and experience.
Come for Songkran.
Yeah, go for Songkran.
Yeah.
Come for
Songkran. You won't forget it.
Let me show that on the screen what I read about Songkran for some people who may not know or who joined us late in the conversation. I know I had wanted to talk about this, but we've been talking about so many things. So the Songkran Festival, what I was reading is about water fights, cultural traditions, and it's about a new beginning. And you see people here in this vehicle spraying water. And when I was seeing videos on Instagram, as well as on YouTube, I was like, what's all this water they're throwing? And then I sent a message to Kwame, and I was like, why are they throwing water? What's the meaning behind the throwing of water? And eventually he sent me a message with the information. I mean, by that time I had already Googled, but I would love to hear from you all when you first experienced this festival. How did it feel? Because if you go there and you didn't really know anything about this festival and you're walking down the street and someone throws water at you, you'll just be like, yo, why'd someone just throw water at me? You're not aware, but maybe you were aware and you were kind of prepared and ready for the water fights. The water. So how was it? How was the experience?
Well, firstly, just to give a bit more clarity on Asia, Cambodia also has their New Year at this point in time as Thailand. So this was also happening in Cambodia this past weekend as well. So it's both countries
And
that
Laos.
set their New Year, and Laos, yes. They have all set their New Year's with this water festival. So I did have an experience of it last year, but it was not anything like I experienced it here. Like you are susceptible from every angle and corner. like no one is spared. Like the only time you're spared is if you stay in your home. Like, so when it comes to like the water, I mean, for me, it was just a matter of what level of intensity, because, some people have some very, very powerful water guns. They have buckets. So it's which version of water is going to hit me next. That was like my main, like, I was like, I wonder, where is it going to come from? Like, who's it going to come from? And, the joyous part about it for me personally was seeing the excitement that the Thais had interacting with us. It's like they see us and you could see them from the distance and they're already targeting you. They're looking at you like, yeah, we're going to get them. So then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get you too. So like now we're like some marksmen on a roof running around like cars, and traffic is still flowing at the same time. So it's not like, it's not like nothing has stopped. So you're dodging cars, you're hiding next to cars, you're like running around the back, It's just like an ultimate, like, I would say like you're the army. Like I felt like a Navy officer for the last weekend. So it was just pure fun, man. Like that's all
I feel like it looks like you're letting your inner child out, like childhood, when you just like water fights and throwing water balloons, and it's just like all fun. And you got to be ready. I mean, I would have to like pull your hair back, make sure you're ready to get soaked, wear something that you're comfortable being soaking wet in.
Ivy, my hair was covered for like 30 minutes out of the whole day. And at that point, I realized this is not making any sense. The dreads were out and I was fully involved. Like, it was just a very, very fun experience. For a first time experience in Thailand, it really set the mark for what not only I love about this country, but, it gives an insight as to what we can do to add to their celebrations, or what we could include, So the goal is to make this a big event, not just for like the Thais, but for our community as well, so that everyone is involved and having a good time. Yeah.
Right. Fantastic. Thank you all so much for joining me today. So I'll quickly just get you to say, just to wrap up, how people can reach you, if they want to book you, like if you have a website, your page, just to quickly wrap up. So DJ, I'll start with you, and then T. Zara, we've lost her.
Okay, so for our Afro-Caribbean Chiang Mai events, it's Afro-Caribbean _ Chiang Mai. You can find us on Instagram, or you can search us on Facebook. And for my personal DJing services, it's DJ _ squared, SQUARED. And you can find all my DJ content there and places that I've played. And if you want to book me, you can also book me there. Yes.
Did I type that correctly?
Perfectly, yes. So those are my two handles for any work or just to know what's going on in Chiang Mai when it comes to Afro-Caribbean.
All right, T.
So basically the easiest way to get to me is always going to be through Instagram. So you can just go to traveling.t, 1 L. I'm not British, so 1 L. Some people be like 2 L's. No, 1 L. Traveling.t, and there I am much easier to be found and actually respond because I am vain. So it's easy for me to see your message and be like, oh, hi. So definitely, yeah, go through there. You can visit my links, and then that can get you to booking a consultation with me. And that just gets you like direct access to talk to me. So then you can chat to me about anything. Hold on. Yeah.
I said, I'll repeat that because I was on mute. I said, you said one L because I'm not British. And then I said in Canada we also do the two L's.
I should have said Commonwealth. I'm like, we're not Commonwealth over here. We have one L. Because
the
like Australia,
Canada's
Canada, they all do it.
Yeah, because Canada does, we spell some things the American way and we spell some things the British way. So we're kind of like mixed up in some of the things that we write. Yeah. So yeah, there's actually a Canadian version for the keyboard, not the keyboard. Yeah, you can choose the Canadian keyboard if you want because then it has a mixture. But yeah, anyway. So Zara, we've lost her. So let me quickly mention for those who have been seeing her that her handle is Zara Charm for her personal business that she talked about. And then for the Black in Chiang Mai, that's the handle on Instagram for those of you who wanted to connect with her. Those are the two that you can reach her at. So we've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes, just over an hour and 15 minutes. We are wrapping up, and I want to thank everybody who has joined us today on this live stream. I know that it is Friday evening for you all is heading into the evening. It's Friday morning for me. And anybody watching, I know you've missed our live if you're watching this as a recording, but you can still reach out to everyone and ask your questions and find out more information if you want to go to Thailand and join their community of people who are just living and thriving and loving life over there. My name is Ivy Prosper. I share stories from Africa and the African diaspora, and they definitely are part of the African diaspora who've chosen to live somewhere else that they can have different types of life experiences. And all of our experiences are valid. All of our experiences are important. It makes us who we are. We bring our own unique culture and experiences to everything that we do. And I am so happy that I did this live stream today because it really has confirmed that I need to go and visit Thailand. I think I will plan for during the Songkran festival and make sure that I'm ready to go and ready to get soaked everywhere I go. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that. 2025. Yeah, I'll look at 2025 as a possibility of doing that. So thank you.
Yes.
You said there was a lantern festival as well.
Yes, that's November. Yeah.
Okay, that's November. All right.
Very
so
beautiful.
Thank you all. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you. So we will end the live stream here. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time.
Thank you, Ivy. Have a great day.